All right, so I decided to do a 21,800 mile update on the Tesla Model 3 performance. This is the 22. I made a video before about my review when I thought of the car and all that. So it's been a few miles. There's been a few incidents. Things happened, and wanted to give you my feedback on that. So what do I think of the car overall? I'm driving, by the way. The car is amazing. It's my favorite car that I've ever owned. I've owned Corvettes, Mustangs, Subarus, Acuras, all kinds of different cars. I've always liked sports sedans and sports cars. So it does everything I need. 3.10 to 60. I've confirmed 3.2 on a track and 3.49 in the street with a Draghi. And the 3.1 is a one foot rollout. So 3.2 on a track is accurate for 3.1 with the rollout. So it does that. It does a quarter mile consistent 11.3s, 11.4s, comes out about 117 to 120, depending on, I don't know what, battery temperature, I guess, traction and all that. Never hear the wheel spin, but there was always a little bit of a spin. But anyway, so what do I think of the car? I think it's awesome. It handles well enough. It's the acceleration is amazing. What do I wish for it to be better? 80 to 120, it'd be nice to have a little bit more power in that range, but of course, when am I going to use that other than a track? And then the headlight control, I wish it was like the wipers control. I turned it off for the trip, or actually no, I turned it off and it stays off. The headlights continuously go back to auto when you put it in drive, even if you parked and you put it on off. I wish I could have the daytime running lights go on and stay on, and not turn off when I turn off the lights manually. If I turn on the fog lights and parking lights manually and I park the car, it stays on. Annoying. So give me either automatic or full control. Like I'd love to have full control of the lights. I don't like the headlights coming on when I'm in a sunny day like right now. I go under these shades I'm going in right now, and the headlights will come on. That's stupid. It's way too sensitive to that. So at least give me a control where I can control the sensitivity of the shadow or darkness or whatever. Anyway, so that's basically the complaints that I have about the car. The way it drives, like I've taken this car to Vermont, Pennsylvania to Vermont, to New York several times, New York City, and it's great. It never tires me out. It's always fun to drive. Supercharging is super convenient. It's never been a problem. No range issues, never had range anxiety. It's just it's a super fun car. I mean, all around. I have no complaints about having an electric car. Well, having a Tesla electric car because of the supercharger network, which nobody else has. So that's a huge plus for Tesla. Quality of the car has been great. It has some rattles here and there depending on temperature. Sometimes with the base on the door, I get a noise up here. It's not all the time. I don't know what, it's not worth chasing and kind of thing, only I would notice because I'm super picky. But anyway, so I really like the car. It's honestly, it's better than any Corvette or Mustang that I've ever owned as far as fit and finish goes. And people say, these cars are terrible with fit and finish. It's really not that bad. There are some things that, aren't perfect, but, you're getting a lot for your money anyway. And then the issue that I have with it, the biggest issue that I've had with it is multiple flat tires. I'm an enthusiastic driver, but I'm also very cautious, avoiding potholes, avoiding all kinds of things, but sometimes you can't. And to my surprise, I hit a tool. That wasn't the car's fault. I hit a tool. There's like a giant wood clamp that was like black and silver, and it blended in with the pavement that was all broken up and stuff, and it was a low speed impact, but it pierced a tire, got caught on a tire, dented the quarter panel, never fixed it. I'm not going to, because the fix is going to devalue the car with the Carfax, and it's like $3,000 to fix it paying cash. And if I go to trade it in, the day I go to trade it in, the ding that you see is going to be less than the cost of the repair. So I hate to not fix something, but I got tired of putting money into repairing things on this car, because what happened next was I've damaged 3 wheels. The first one, I was doing autopilot, trying to have to go around a traffic circle. Don't do that. I thought it was going to make it. Even it's not designed to do that. I thought I was going to make it, and then decided it wasn't going to make it. I grabbed the wheel in time to not actually hit, but it just barely scraped the front left wheel on the curb. So I didn't even feel it. I thought I missed it, but no, I didn't miss it. And it scraped up the wheel, and because the wheels are like even with the tires, if not a little bit further out than the tires, which is kind of a shame. So, no forgiveness there. So I replaced the wheel because I didn't want to have it repaired and not match and have the car down for a week and all that. So I swapped the wheel out. $750 for a wheel. That's a lot, but could be more. So I replaced the wheel, and then stupidly a couple weeks later, I'm trying to straddle fit the car between a manhole cover that was really deep and a curb, and I thought, I got this. I know the car's width, and I did. I knew the car's width down to the millimeter, so it scraped the rear right wheel on a curb, so it fit perfectly, just perfectly. So I was embarrassed and all that. I'm like, okay, I shouldn't have tried that. I shouldn't have been like, yeah, I know my car. So I replaced that wheel because I can't have scraped wheels. So then the third one. What happened to the third one? Oh yeah, long day at work, and I was coming home. I was done. I was tired, and I pulled into my driveway a little too enthusiastically because I had music playing and all that, and I felt a little bump in the rear right. I'm like, did I actually hit the curb? Are you kidding me? And sure enough, I did. So I was like, nope, can't have it. I was really angry at myself for being so careless, but again, my fault. And again, if it was a regular car with regular tires, it would have been a tire that hit. It would have been nothing. But at this time, I had the Kumos in the back because of that blowout that I had with the tool that destroyed the tire. I bought 2 Kumos to go in the back because the Michelins and the Pirelli P Zeros that this car comes were not available. And because it's an electric car and tires, you'd hear a lot more noise from tires because there's no engine noise or exhaust noise. So when I got the Kumos, I found out why you should get the electric car tires, because they had a rumble, also because they're Kumos, but they had a rumble on the highway that was really annoying. It sounded like an engine actually, like a bad wheel bearing kind of sound. And so I ordered the Michelins, even though the Pirellis were going to be in a little sooner. I've had better luck with Michelin tires, and I've heard a lot of good things about them. And these 2 models of tires, they have a specific one that's made for the Tesla. So then I decided that's what I wanted to do because they're both great tires. So now I have the Michelins on there. But anyway, so I had that blowout, and then I had a second blowout when I was driving normally to go into a customer's job, and I hit a construction site that cut out a square out of the pavement, and they kind of paved it but didn't finish it. I thought it was deep. There's a car coming in the lane. I'm like, it's going to be kind of a hard hit, but it should be okay. And it wasn't. It blew the front right tire. So again, no spare. So I pulled over, called a tow truck company. They came, they flatbedded the car to my shop. But I had the other side Pirelli that I replaced the Kumos with to keep it even. So I put that Pirelli in the front right while I waited for Michelins to come in. The car, when I put the Kumos in the back, it was unbalanced. It wanted to fishtail all the time. Its stability control was constantly coming on because they're very, very different tires. The Pirelli P Zeros are very good tires, and the Kumos are junk. So they were noisy, and they didn't grip, and they were too small for the wheel, even though it was the same size. The wheel stuck out. It was a shame. So anyway, I don't recommend it. I got rid of them with most of the tread still on them because they were so bad when the Michelins came in. So I got the Michelins. I feel like it lost a little bit of on-center feel on a highway. It could be my imagination because it's got quick steering, but I don't know. I'm not so sure at this point. Yeah, it's only been like 300-400 miles. If I like them better than the Pirelli P Zeros. They do have a little bit of tread noise on a highway, which I didn't expect from a Michelin. I feel like the Pirellis are quieter. I don't think the Pirellis will last as long. I think they'll last about 20 to 25,000 miles. I think the I feel like the Michelins probably last 30,000 miles, but based on the tread wear indicator, the tread wear numbers and all that, and reviews and all that, time will tell. I'm used to tires lasting 25,000 miles because I'm used to cars like Corvettes and Mustangs that have high performance tires that don't last that long because they give you grip. But anyway, so that's my complaint, is this car is too easy to damage the wheels. Like, I've had so many cars in my life, I've damaged like 1 wheel, maybe 2, the entire time I've been driving. And all of a sudden I get this car, I damaged 3 wheels in the first 20,000 miles. You know, it's like those times it should have been a tire bump, but not a wheel bump, because the tire is stretched onto the wheel because they choose a smaller size, which gives you really good steering response, but also very low profile on a very heavy car. It's a heavy car in the sense, like, you know, it's 4,200 pounds, but so is the Subaru. The Subaru is 4,200 pounds, but it didn't have such a low profile tire. So it's not crazy heavy. So that's the issue that was annoying, is that there's no spare. Like, a lot of cars don't have spare these days, but there's no spare, and then, you know, it's too easy to have a blowout. So I'm actually thinking about getting 2 extra Michelins to have in stock in my house in case I have another blowout, because they keep getting back ordered. Like right now, they only had 3 in stock as of yesterday from Tire Rack. And so maybe I should just, you know, stock my own, but kind of feels wasteful. So I haven't decided that yet. When I get my first flat again with these Michelins, I'm going to wish I did. But so I'm not being like overly paranoid about where I'm driving, watching every little pebble on the road, everything on the road. And it's kind of annoying to be like that. And you're kind of doing some of this, you know, just trying to avoid stuff. But anyway, it's the way it is. That's about one complaint. I wish that it wasn't so easy to damage a wheel and blow a tire. But the opposite side of that, you get very good steering response and really good handling for a car that weighs 4,000 pounds. The Corvette weighed, like, I don't know, 3,400 pounds, maybe 3,600 pounds, depending on which model, and it handled really, really well. And you know, it's a Corvette, and it had very low profile tires on it, but I don't think it was quite as low as these were, as far as, you know, inches from the edge of the rim to the road. But the tires were actually further out than the edge of the rim, so if you did have a slight bump or something, you wouldn't even know it. It's just a rubber. So in any case, comparing a 4-door sedan to a Corvette sounds kind of stupid, but you know what, they're in the same category as far as handling and performance goes. Corvette wins in the handling department and probably the braking department as well, but not acceleration. The only Corvette that can beat this car, and not every time, is a ZR1, and the last ZR1, because, you know, they have traction problems. So if they can hook up, they can be faster. They're like 3.0, 0 to 60, maybe 2.9. This car is 3.1, so let's call it 3.2. You know, it's right there, but it's consistent because it's 4-wheel drive, and it just goes. The electric car control over traction is significantly better than a gas car because it can react so much faster. So anyway, talk a lot about the wheels and tires. That's the biggest issue that I've had with these cars, you know, with this car. Software updates have been great. Reliability, I had an airbag sensor on the passenger seat that went bad, and they replaced the whole seat. Not a big deal. Kind of an excessive repair, but you know, it was done. They forgot to put a clip in, left it in a cup holder. I put it back in. And I had a couple little rattles here and there. Had it in, oh yeah, the Bluetooth playlist from your phone. If you have songs that live on your phone and you play on the car, for the first like 18,000 miles, they didn't show up on my playlist. It was not an option on the car's screen. Now it is. Sometimes I can pick a song to play from. Sometimes I can just look at them. I don't understand that. They need to work on that. I guess everybody's streaming, so they don't care about that functionality. But my son's 2012 Honda has better control over the phone for music than this car does. So I wish they would. I don't need Apple CarPlay or any of that. I just needed to do what the 2012 Honda could do. So I hope they come around and work on that, like they do with the radio stations now, that you actually see other radio stations and their icons and stuff on a screen. You got the screen, man, use it. So that's another little nuisance. But you know, if I want to go on a road trip, I want to take the Tesla. If I want to go on a long trip, I want to take the Tesla. If I want to go to the grocery shopping, I want to take the Tesla. If I want to go driving in the snow, I want to take the Tesla. You know, it's like, this is my car that drive all around. I got 21,000 miles on it in 10 months. I might be closer to 25,000 miles a year. I have never driven that much. I just absolutely enjoy driving this car, and I want to take it everywhere. And battery degradation, it was 306 miles when I got it. It was supposed to be 315, but I never made it. There's this one, I don't know why, it was just 306. They say those numbers don't mean much anyway. It's not real actual miles that you get on the road anyway. And now it's 296 at 21,000 miles. So we'll see. My intentions are to keep this car 5-6 years. I don't know, 60, 70,000 miles, maybe 80,000, depending how I'm feeling. Also depending what Tesla does with the new Model 3s. And then trade it in for another one. I have no interest in going to another car. I have no interest in going back to a gasoline car. Even though I like the exhaust, I like manual transmissions, I like all that, but this car makes up for that in other ways. The performance and the instant responsiveness is just so fun. And it does have Brembo brakes, front and rear. It does stop well when you stomp on the brakes. Never had an issue with braking. But I suppose if I were to take it to a road course kind of track, maybe I would see the limits of the brakes then. You know, so far so good. So I don't know. That's my review. If you have any specific questions, you know, leave a comment below. You know, because I'm not a huge YouTuber, it's easy to answer all the questions I see. So I'll be happy to answer. And if you want to see a video on something else, if you want to know something else about the car's ownership, you know, let me know. I'd be happy to answer it. And I'm pretty frank about it. You know, I'm like, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I'm not protecting the car. I'm just being honest. All right. So I guess I'll talk to you guys later.